Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Project Veterans Voices. Today is going to be a fun day. We got a fireside chat. We got a special guest. And of course, we have some of the crew here, so it should be a good time. But before we get into the episode, are you enjoying the podcast? And make sure you that's the Lost Art Project, veteransvoices.org. Again, the Lost Art Project, veteransvoices.org. Go check us out, see what we're all about. We are a new nonprofit, so if there's any way you can help us out, it'd be much appreciated. Big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project out there doing amazing things. If you know something about them, go check them out. Even if you don't, check them out. That's an amazing organization. They're doing wonderful things, and if you can help them, it would be absolutely incredible. You can find them at tillvalhallaproject.com.
Are you a Marine veteran? Are you missing that bond you had on active duty? Then I have a place for you. Join the only congressionally chartered Marine Corps Veteran Service Organization, the Marine Corps League. Get that brother and sisterhood back in your life. Become one of the fewer, the prouder, a Marine Corps League member.
All right, here we are, man. We are back. I'm excited, man. Today's going to be a good day. We'll just go ahead and go around real quick, see how everybody's doing. Mike, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing good, Andrew. Like we were talking earlier, I don't know, fighting these Southwest Georgia allergies and this tree pollen, and I don't think I'm sick, but woke up this morning like, so.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm doing good. I can't complain. Everything's good.
Good. Yeah. And, other than the pollen and all that stuff, you survive it,
Hey, yeah, I'm at home. At least I'm not in Florida. So
There you go. See, it could be worse. It could be worse.
Absolutely, yeah.
Unless you're Aaron and you live in, then that's a different story. But he lives in Florida, so, we got to cut him a little bit of slack. But, well, we got our special guest here tonight, man. This is Adam Castillo. You guys got to check out his podcast when it comes up. It'll be coming up soon. But he has a incredible story. But we're going to jump into a little bit of it. But Adam, how you doing?
A little sick from this East Coast weather. It's been tearing me up. Hot, cold.
Yeah.
But I'm all right. Yeah, it got me. California boy that lives in Asia, not used to the cold again.
Yeah. So. I understand that completely. But you won't be there for, too much longer. So, there's always that. You'll go back eventually back to Asia. And what is the weather like over there for you?
Right now it's very, very hot. It's things south, high temperature, high humidity. It's the hottest time of the year right now. I'll be at the tail end of it, kind of headed into rainy season when I get back in May. And that's just basically raining every day for months. So.
Fun times.
Yeah.
So you're talking about Washington State then? That's what you're talking about.
Similar, right? Similar to
probably not as hot. By no means not as hot. I promise that.
Sorry. Well, shoot, Adam. Now, Adam, you've written a book, and we're going to dive a little bit into that, hopefully at least. But however you want to take the conversation with it. But Finding Our Voices, a story of leadership in crisis and the American spirit abroad. And from what I gathered on the last time we talked, basically you got out of the Marine Corps and it was like, what do I do? Where do I go? And, so that transition and then finally finding kind of where to go and what to do and how it worked for you. And now you're providing a way for others to see that and hopefully help them. Yeah. So, if you don't want mine, let's jump into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think funny. I've been getting emails and from quite a number of veterans. Obviously, with some of my publicity, obviously our show or podcast hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
But really, kind of asking in terms of the whole transitioning plan for active duty, reserve, whatever the case may be, taking off the uniform and transitioning to the civilian life. And from what they're telling me, it's still not perfect, right? And it's never going to be, but it's still, there's still major gaps in terms of how do we get our servicemen to find their way, right?
Right.
And it doesn't have to be so dramatic as this great tale of heartache and success that I had in leaving my country, taking a leap of faith.
Right.
It could be as simple as, you know, why are we not transitioning more veterans, you know, with job fairs as soon as they are getting out, right? You know,
Hmm.
when I was getting out, I had to go to recruiters, you know,
Hmm.
service, like prior service recruiters that not, they were basically recruiters that concentrated on basically military candidates to
Right.
private sectors, and they held the job fairs, right? But why
Hmm.
wasn't that done during TAPS or the transitioning programs on base, right?
Yeah.
Because again, I mean, keep in mind, I was an officer, right? I had
Hmm.
degrees. I had a degree. I had a very technical skill, supply, logistics, maintenance.
Right.
I could do all of that. So it wasn't like I needed help with somebody to write a resume, right? Which is an important skill, but ultimately, a resume only goes so far. You need to be able
Hmm.
to be put in front of not just experience of interviewing, but also to a degree, you need an opportunity. You know,
Yeah.
everybody needs an opportunity, right? And that's something that I've always kind of preached is everybody needs a little bit of luck. It's what you do with that luck and that opportunity
Hmm.
and how hard you work that really separates success from not having success.
Right.
But I don't believe we're doing enough to get veterans opportunities. And from what I've heard from even some of the recent stories I've been hearing from transitioning, from people that have reached out since my book launch, you know, not much has changed. So it's gotten better, but it's not that much of an improvement.
Hmm. Yeah. It's unfortunate that it's like that too, is, I think everyone recognizes and everyone sees that there's an issue with transitioning, right? Uh, it's just a matter of how can we marry up the active duty side military as they're getting ready to transition that TAMP or whatever they call it nowadays,
Right.
and then into actual results on the other side. And what you're saying, that bringing that together with job fairs and things like that, I think is more appropriate than probably just sitting there and learning about, the potential of things that could happen when you get out and a couple of classes. I think it could be improved upon for sure.
Yeah, precisely. And ultimately, again, I think the private sector needs to be engaged with the government, and really, they need to be on base, giving opportunities, right? Whatever,
Mhm.
however small they might be, and that will be the ultimate sort of bridge between the private sector and
Yeah.
military service and veterans, right? Because I still think that there's a huge gap between the private sector understanding, okay, how can I apply this person's skills that he got from the military
Hmm.
and apply that to this position where I might have an internal candidate or somebody from my competitor, somebody from my
Right.
industry that I rather hire. But in fact, this now soon to be veteran has far more management skills and leadership skills
Mhm.
when whatever the case may be, we're not exactly building data centers here, right? At this, this is most of these jobs are not highly technical jobs in the first
Truth.
place, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
It's
think
just,
a lot of that is regional? I mean, or it should be blanket across, the services at that point. It doesn't matter what installation you're at, but do you think, I mean, I'm not sure where you got out, Adam. I mean,
yeah, I got out of the San Diego Marine Corps.
okay.
Um, Obviously, it's more of a, I mean, and that was in 2012, 13 ish. No, that was 2013. So that was still a very vibrant
Oh, absolutely.
job market, and there was a lot
Yeah.
of opportunities. And let's be clear, like I told on my podcast, AC, I was getting flown out to a lot of job interviews. I was, getting,
Mhm.
the full-fledged treatment. It was just nobody would hire me at the end of the day. Nobody would give me a job. And this went on for nearly half a year.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's in that rejection that we see the depression or the anger in my case. And that's where we see obviously the bad decisions that are very human in a sense where,
Mhm.
hey, we'll turn to the bottle, hey, we'll turn to drugs. And that's what we're seeing with veterans still, right? Um, and it's unfortunate, but yeah, that's essentially what happened with me.
Yeah. And when you're saying regional, not just regionally, but also service, like branch of service to branch of service is different too. The Navy, you know, when they're doing their transitional stuff, although it may be basically the same classes, if you will, but the way they teach it is different than the way the Marine Corps teaches it. Because I know a bunch of people in Virginia Beach area where I was retired from, that's all Navy courses up there. And all the Marines were like, no, go down to Lejeune and take the course down there. And now I went ahead and took the Navy one. It didn't bother me. But, you know, it's just, I guess, which one speaks better to you. And then there's also the adage, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, Adam, but I was always told at a minimum, take it a year out from retirement, preferably closer to 2 years out, take those TAMP classes, and then take it again. That way you can get everything one more time fresh, and then update things if you need to. So I was told you could take it multiple times.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't retire. I got out after my first contract, right? And that's the majority of servicemen, unfortunately. And so really you're talking about one shot. I think another extension of that is the VA, right? Is why are we not transitioning people doing all that paperwork you have to do for your VA claim, right? I'm still doing that, you know, because I just didn't do it. I was just, you know, so disenfranchised when I was getting out. And I just let it slide. And it wasn't until this past year that I finally created a VA account. And and I'm like, when I go back to California, I actually have to do my exams finally. But how many other veterans, especially those living on the street, are in this situation? Why wasn't this done right when they're doing TAPS or whatever transition program? Because that's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of hoops. And we expect somebody living on the street to be able to do this. I mean, this is already difficult enough for somebody like myself that lives overseas and travels back and forth from the United States and Asia. So I think there's many different dynamics of why we're still not meeting, you know, the care that our veterans need, right?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And that process, not an easy process with all the paperwork you got to do for the VA and all that type of stuff. But I think they should push the dates back a little bit to give a little more time. So instead of starting, you know, 6 months out to get it in by the 90 days, I think they should be starting that paperwork a year out. And then that way, you know, there's plenty of time to get medical out of the way. There's plenty of time to do all that type of stuff. That way, whenever they go in, they have everything, and you can get approved with whatever VA benefits that are coming your way before you get out, and you know, stepping out the door what you're gonna get.
Yeah. I think there's also another thing with, like, for instance, remember the Burn Pit Act that passed, I think during the Biden administration. So why wasn't that automatically given to people that you have our record? Or you know where we deployed. We have to go through another VA claim to get something that's been passed by Congress and signed by the president, which is law. Like, it's law, it's the law of the land now. But we have to jump through this giant circle of life with the VA now to get that. So we have to redo everything again. So I just think there's a lot of I mean, we could talk for hours about the bureaucratical monster that's the VA, but it's not making things easier, right? It seems like things are getting harder.
Yeah, I will say that the longer that I have spent in, like, the Marine Corps League, for example, so I've been seeing more and more. So the Marine Corps League is stepping up. They're starting to have VSOs specifically to the Marine Corps League. So all the other veteran service organizations have them, but now they're specific to us. And also that whole the going to a VSO, they're making it easier and easier for that to happen. And now that's dependent upon area and stuff like that as well. But even in the rural I can't even say it, rural areas, like kind of where I'm at, it's getting easier because there's more and more of those VSOs popping up. So it is getting better. I won't say it's fixed because it is not, but it is getting better.
Yeah, precisely. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think there's a long way to go with the VA. I think that's a larger conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I was thinking back also kind of what I was talking to some of these veterans that have reached out.
Mhm.
And one thing that I would say that I think saved me during that time when I was unemployed and kind of going through that dark period where a lot of
Right.
veterans do when they're unemployed, they're dealing with rejection. I still worked out every day.
Mm.
And a lot of that had to do with my brother. Like my brother used to just wake me up after I'd be, you know, spending all night either applying for jobs or just staring at my ceiling.
Hmm.
Right. And he'll be waking me up at 10, 11, like, wake up, eat, we're going to the gym. And every day, mostly every day, early afternoon, we'll be at the gym together, lifting,
Yeah.
doing cardio, etc. And that became a discipline. And I think that's something we all learn in the military is physical fitness and how
Hmm.
to condition our body. And so I think there's one thing that I learned kind of like looking back on that period is if
Hmm.
there's one thing that saved me is I didn't let my health go. Right.
Mm.
That's what kept me focused and still kind of that's what kept me from jumping off the ledge, in my opinion. Right.
Yeah.
To bottle, drugs, whatever the case, depression.
Hmm.
It still kept me angry, and I think it was an outlet for anger.
Right.
But that's another thing I think. It's a lesson that I think a lot of veterans should carry. Is we're taught this in the Marines and the Army and the Air Force, Navy, etc. We can still carry that even when we get out. This is a discipline. PT is something we can fall back on.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And even if it's not, maybe PT is not your thing, but having something to be able to fall back on, something to be able to go to that's one a stress reliever. A lot of us, and I'm one of these guys. I will sit at the house and I won't get out and I won't go do anything. I'll just sit here, and that's not good for you. But when I do get out and I go do something, I do feel better. It's just,
Mm.
how do I get myself off my lazy butt to go do something? And that becomes the issue for me, at least. But
Yeah.
finding
Well,
that,
why do a lot of us have 101 excuses why we can't do something?
yeah, true, yeah,
Like yours, Andrew, is fishing. You love to
yeah,
fly fishing.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, physical fitness is important. Getting out, heck, even if it's just walking every day,
true, yeah,
doing something like that. But there's also, physical fitness, there's mental fitness like that.
mhm,
Just getting out, like you said, just getting away, putting the phone down, go someplace, do something you like. If you want to read, go for a
yeah.
walk, go fishing, just go hike.
Go do something.
But we all have at least I know in my world it's okay. I got to go to work, come home,
Mm.
go to sleep, go to work, come home.
Yeah.
And other vices, but
That is probably one of the things for military members, veterans, is we're so used to, especially the more senior you get, or if you're an officer, for example, you're taking care of everybody else, and your personal needs, if you will, kind of get put to the wayside, and you're always focusing on someone else. So when you get out, you don't have that focus, right? I'm not able to focus on somebody else. I'm not working, or I'm staying at home, or whatever the case is. I don't have that, and that can be one of the incredibly stressful type of situations.
Yeah, you lose purpose. You lose
Yeah.
purpose, and you feel like you lose purpose in your life. You've
Hmm.
just gotten back from being a warrior and a leader of
Right.
warriors. In my
Hmm.
case, it was Afghanistan. And then all of a sudden, I can't even get a job supervising a warehouse.
Hmm.
Um, and so I think the loss of purpose, and that's not for officers. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
enlisted rank, non-commissioned officers,
Hmm.
everything from your fire team to squad leaders to, platoon sergeants, etc. Everybody has this sense of purpose and this sense of strength in their leadership when they're in uniform. um Unfortunately, when you lose that, where do you put that,
Yeah.
and if it becomes lost, then again, it can drift to some dark places. So
Yeah. And what is your advice to people? Like, how do you find that purpose? How do you, or maintain that purpose? What would be your example of for Marines or veterans that are getting out and they're transitioning to continue having purpose, right? How do you see that happening?
yeah, I mean, find purpose in the people you love, in if that's your
Mm,
family, if that's your
that's good.
community, if that's the workplace you've created, and or for me, the business I created and the community that's been built around me. But ultimately, we all joined the military. Yes, okay, we're all veterans here, right? We can say we joined
Mhm.
because we wanted to serve our country, but we have other reasons as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we could
Absolutely.
talk about those. And one of those things is that I feel like, you know, as strong men, we might not talk about our feelings, but that's not what we need. We're strength providers. Our mission in this world is to lend other people our strength who doesn't have the strength to stand up on their own 2 feet or to go someplace on their own. That's leadership. That's pulling everybody together. And that's the purpose I found, really kind of leading this broken community, this broken people in Myanmar,
Mhm.
a country ravaged by civil war, a generational civil war.
Right.
And ultimately that's kind of what, the in my book I talk about this, but really it's the motto of my company. It's strength through sacrifice, right?
Mhm.
We become stronger as we sacrifice for those that need it.
Yeah. That's
um
a good point. Yeah.
yeah, so that's ultimately how I found my purpose.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And you know, I think that it is also different for men and women when they get out, just by personality of what a man and how a man thinks, and then how a woman thinks as well. And you're saying, like, for a man, I get out, I need that sense of purpose. I need to be able to, to lead, or be able to, be in charge, or whatever the case. And that's kind of the mentality that a man has, and when you lose that, it's tough. So finding that, and you're saying with family, with friends, with your community, those types of things, that's huge.
Yeah.
A huge thing that can keep people in the fight.
Yeah, community is a very powerful thing. I believe in the power of community, whether it be nonprofit organizations, whether it be, your local VFW, whether it be your local chamber of commerce, whatever the case may be. Don't look at these organizations as membership driven. Look at them more as communities that can be built. And through
Mm,
that, you can find purpose, right?
yeah.
Leading your community. Everything doesn't have to be politically driven. Everything doesn't have to be an election, right? You can get involved, anywhere at a VFW. You can get involved,
Yeah.
I mean, we know the opportunities out there, even to volunteer on Veterans Day, etc.
Mhm.
So I think if we can't find our purpose, it's better to put that energy and strength into charitable work, right?
Mhm.
Ways that we can give back, even if it's tough times, rather than again getting angry and depressed and us leading ourselves to bad decisions,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Finding that purpose is so big. And for individuals that are kind of doing that transition, they're trying to figure it out. What's your advice to just get past that hurdle, right? What's that first step? What do you tell people? Like, hey, if I were going to counsel a Marine, right, I would say, get off your lazy ass and go do it, right? Get
Yeah.
up and go do it. That's kind of my mentality. But I think for many, many people, it's, well, I didn't serve as much as somebody else, so I don't deserve it as much, or I don't. Yeah, I'm a veteran, but I only did 2 years, and I didn't really do
Yeah.
anything. And that, I hear that all the time, especially people coming on to tell their story. Well, I didn't do anything. I'm like, well, I still want to hear your story, right? It's important. But what do you have for those guys? The guys that, or gals, I say guys, but guys and gals, that struggle with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is this sort of hierarchy, especially once we get out, right?
Mhm.
Some people are, you know, they were the best of the best, right? They were
Yeah.
SEALs, they were Delta, they were MARSOC, they were
Right.
PJs in the Air Force. And that's great. We respect the hell out of those guys, right? They went through hell, you know, to
Yeah,
get those
absolutely.
titles. But that doesn't always apply to everybody, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I was a supply officer that did a logistics officer's job, that did,
Right.
you know, maintenance officer job, that was a camp commandant, right? You know, there's skills we learned, I think, that are applicable to the civilian world. Probably more so
I would agree.
than these really high speed guys, right?
Mhm.
I'm not trying to put them down, but you know, these jobs where you work 2 years and maybe you just did an administrational job or whatever case, you need to find essentially what you were good at. Was that
Mhm.
managing people, or was that being able to just be organized and detail oriented,
Mm.
right? And then you need to look at your position in which you're in. Okay, what do you want to do in life? What do you enjoy,
Yeah.
right? And what options do you have? You need to walk yourself through that. It's a planning process,
Mhm.
right? Just like, fail to plan, plan to fail. That
Mhm.
whole concept that exists in the military, especially in the Marine Corps amongst young officers and in young NCOs,
Mhm.
that needs to be applied to your life. If you just sit around and are not making plans and walking through the dog, walking through the sandbox, okay, here's the fog of war. Here's what
Mm.
we are doing. These are the only options I see. Okay, well, then plan out those options,
Yeah.
right? So it's not so much like, I'm going to give some motivational speech and start cussing like I'm a drill instructor. It's just kind of like, you need to put in the work. You need to put in the details step by
Right.
step, right? What is your mission? What is the end state, right? What are the coordinating instructions in terms of the logistics you need to do to get it done, the administration you need to do to get it done,
Mm.
right? These details matter more than these pie in the sky dreams or these dark, dark thoughts you might having, right?
Right.
And that's what I feel my book separates from, obviously, the guys I respect, Jocko and Goggins,
Mhm.
former Navy SEALs, all these, high speed special forces guy. Their story ends, their book ends in the military to a degree,
Yeah.
right?
No,
My
that's a good
story
point.
starts when I'm leaving the Marine Corps,
Mhm.
right? Is when my book, Finding Our Voice, starts. And
Yeah.
so I feel that it's more applicable for your average service member as opposed, to the very small percentage that really I think kind of dominate our kind of motivational circuit, right? So
That's very true. And you think about it is you think about those special forces guys. I mean, look at the percentage, and I don't know the numbers. I have no idea, but the percentage of the special forces guys compared to the rest of the military is a fraction of the military, right?
yeah,
So the bulk of your veterans that are getting out are guys that are doing normal jobs, right? Like you were
mhm,
saying, administration, supply, all these different types of jobs like that. And just knowing that your service matters, because you're not that special guy that was kicking down doors and everybody wants to hear that, right?
yeah,
But you were doing something to help with the fight, whether that is during peacetime or not. You're helping the overall arching premise behind the military, and that's important when once you get out, understanding that what you did was important, understanding that you can fall back on the training that you had in the military, like you were saying, like doing the sand tables, right? Coming out now, you don't have to actually do a sand table necessarily, but
yeah.
but going to the drawing board, like, here is a small goal. How do I achieve that goal, and gaming it out? Very important in my
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
I mean, people read my book. In the prologue, I talk about, okay, I got an opportunity to find my way out of this dark period of my life where I was unemployed,
Mhm.
dealing with rejection.
Right.
And once I got the option, I basically started making a plan and everything had a hit. But I walked through every point of how I was able to accomplish that. Okay, first I need to find my replacement. Well, I'm in the reserves right now. Luckily, there's a huge attrition of young officers. By the way, I know somebody from supply school that still wants to be in the game. He can join the reserves because everyone's getting pushed into the reserves and replace me. And he's actually been a supply officer, unlike me, all like 3+ years, right?
Right.
3+4 years. Um, Second, I need to really be able to sell this to my commanding officer. right? All right,
Mhm.
how is she going to let me leave the unit, right?
Right.
And how do I do that? Walking through exactly what I'm going to do and say, this is my first female commanding officer, right? It's different from dealing with, the commanding officer I had in Afghanistan, who was a recon Marine, right?
Yeah. Huge
So
difference. Yeah, for sure.
exactly, right? So, and then I have to prove I'm not just going just to Asia just to go on vacation and figure
Mhm.
things out, right? I signed up for a distance education master's program, right? With a
Right.
specific, study to help me get into, if possible, fallback government work.
Mhm.
Um, applied for the VA, GI Bill, right? Et
Right.
cetera, et cetera. So by the time I walked into that office with my commanding officer and I sat down and said, ma'am, this is not working out for me. I am
Mhm.
not going to retain. I'm not, once my EOS is done, I'm done.
Yeah.
Wow, we can make it work that way. I can go now and drill out and do my obligations. But by the way, here's everything I've set up.
Yeah.
I basically planned the Marine Corps ball, which has been a huge thing, a huge problem for you the past couple of years, and you wanted me to do it. It's done. I
Yeah.
got a replacement. It's done. And here's the proof that I'm not just going there just to mess around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's the sort of planning where somebody has nothing and he's made nothing out of something. Right.
Yeah.
Just one opportunity, one thought, and then you just do what you always do,
Mhm.
you work the problem.
Yeah, and that's a great great example of when you have somebody that you're trying to get, you have a leader that you want to see it your way, if you will, right?
Mm,
Uh, doing all that planning, doing all the figuring out the pieces of the puzzle before you take it in, and saying, here is everything, and this is what I've got, right? Even with the nonprofit here, I have, letters that I send out to different agencies and stuff like that, but I have them prepped and I'll send it in an email. So yeah, I know you're not asking for this, but here is this in case can send it to somebody else or whatever. And just that preemptive strike. And then people are like, oh shoot, man, you're like on top of it, just having that 1 or 2 steps ahead of the game is so important.
correct. I would agree.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Mike? I've been talking for a while.
No, I mean, I'm literally just here for the ride. I'm listening to everything everybody has to say, and it's there's a whole lot goes into all of it. And like you said, Adam, that's one big thing that isn't taught in the military. As far as that's one thing as far as leadership goes. You're always, you should be looking for your replacement. You should train your
Mhm.
replacement.
Right.
But a lot of people don't do that because they're looking at it as a job security kind of thing. And it's
Ooh,
like, well, I don't want anybody to replace me. And that even goes for in the in the
civilian
real
sector.
world, in the
Yeah.
civilian world.
Yeah.
So that's everything you've been talking about as far as before you get out training, the conversations, stuff like that. And it's just not something that's taught. I'll say in the Marine Corps, but I would say in the military in general. And it may be different, and it don't take this wrong way when I say it. On the officer side to enlisted side, it may be different. I
Mm,
don't know. And that was one thing I was going to ask earlier when you were talking about like TAPS, TAMPs, and stuff like that. I got an abbreviated TAPS class,
Mhm.
but is there a difference?
for
There's
How?
officers? No, I
Yes.
had to go through the same one the enlisted went through.
Yeah.
There,
Yeah. I
there
didn't.
are 2 different tracks nowadays.
Are
I
there?
know that
Okay.
there's like for enlisted and officer at the same time, but there's also for senior enlisted and senior officer. So when you're talking colonel and above, or I
Oh,
think it's field
yes.
grade, it might be
Yes.
field grade and above,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then like mass sergeant and or I'm sorry, E89, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is, but something like that. And so, what the differences are in the course, I'll be honest, I don't know if there is a difference other than maybe the questions that are being asked from the ones that are attending the course, just from a different
Yeah.
perspective. But I
Well, I
have,
could see where you would have, like you were talking, I don't know, I guess we were calling them vendors, but different companies coming in. I guess they may be looking for older, more seasoned people with more experience, vice, the corporal that did 4 years or something like, but in the same sense, why wouldn't you want that younger guy?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you want that younger guy where you can train him and you're going to have him for a longer period of time?
That's true.
Vice the guy that's 40 years old, or what I'm saying?
I think also being in the military and knowing what you're worth, and I hate to say it that way, but as let's say a non-NCO versus an NCO getting out, right? As that non-NCO, you're a worker bee, right? You're the one that, has been ground pounding. You're out there, moving stuff around. You're the worker bee. And then that NCO, you get a little bit of the leadership. You're still a worker bee, right? But you still get a little bit more. And then, of course, it's stepping stone up from there. But knowing what you're worth when you get out, right? So if I'm a Lance Corporal getting out, I shouldn't expect, that I'm getting some six-figure job somewhere where I'm a CEO or something like that, right? I should know that, hey, I've got to go somewhere and work my way up, right? Same thing in the military. You don't start at the top. You're going to start at the bottom and work your way up. But that's something that I think we take for granted sometimes as veterans.
Well, I would agree
absolutely.
with that.
Yeah.
But, that's one thing that I also think, one guy I work with, he didn't retire out of the Army. He ended up having to get a hardship discharge because of his kids and stuff like that. That's his story. But, he was an infantry guy, but, it was pounded in. And he literally talked about it. He's 57 and he didn't start with his VA benefits till 7 years ago.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Because it was pounded into him that, you're weak. You claim something's wrong with you. You're weak. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve that. And he said that was just the mentality he had. And I think a lot of that has to do with, the leadership within commands, where it's like, I said to him, why the hell would you have a first sergeant or a sergeant major set you up for failure? It may not have been intentional. It was just the mentality, and it's like,
it did used to happen,
Yeah, but it's like, why wouldn't you, Mark, retired sergeant major on the podcast, Andrew. I can't foresee Mark ever once doing that to one of his Marines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I foresee him doing everything he possibly could, calling him in the office and say, hey, have you done this? Have you looked into this? Have you done that? You need to be doing this. That kind of stuff. Why would you want to set anybody under you up for failure? I don't understand that. But that's how he talked about it. And I've seen it in the Marine Corps. Unfortunately, it's like, why do we do this? We want you here. Let's run you until you're freaking broke. And then it's like, yeah, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
Go to your weak class and get the hell out.
Shane Gunny Girl, I don't know what that stands for. TLAP, I don't know what that is. And it says, good day, evening, y'all fellas. All right, good day, good evening. You're going to have to spell things out. I don't know acronyms anymore. Sorry. I don't even know where that's coming from. What platform? Oh, that's YouTube. It's coming from YouTube. Sorry. I just had to throw that in there. If they make comments, I got to say something. I got to engage the audience. That's what I've been told. So sorry about that.
No worries.
Anyways, I think that we have actually changed the mentality of the military as far as what we see as weak versus what we see as strong, especially when it comes to mental health. And I remember, as a young Marine, right, corporal, or a sergeant, how if you went to medical, you're weak. That was just the attitude. You're weak. No, don't go to medical, man. Don't be on light duty. Don't do this. Don't do that. And then the longer I stayed in, especially during the war, right, things progressed, and we started to see more of that mental health aspect, and more individuals were like, like, for example, I retired out of a schoolhouse. Well, when a Marine would come in and they're having a hard time with things, I would say, okay, well, what's going on at home? Is anything happening? Is this, is that? And then I would say, hey, you know what? Let's go talk to somebody. And then I would just grab them and I'd walk to medical with them. And I'd say, hey, look, somebody needs to talk to this Marine. They're having some issues. Somebody needs to help them out. And I have that conversation with the doc one-on-one. And then, it helps the Marine later down the road. But it didn't used to be like that. If you went to medical, it looked like you were an outcast.
Yeah. That's on the senior enlisted and the officer, right, in charge of that Marine. Ultimately, right? And listen, it's not perfect in the Marine Corps or in probably any military branch, but
True.
That's why I believe that there needs to be that transition at TAPS or whatever program it is called now, with the VA rep there, basically like everyone's going to sign this now. Do your paperwork now, and then you're going to get your appointment right then and there to go down to whatever clinic to get your examination now. So you're not doing it in front of your peers. And I think that's another thing is this: nobody wants to look weak in front of their peers. One of the reasons I didn't file a VA claim, they wanted me to do it like when I'm around my Marines, and I'll do that later. Like make sure the Marines get it done first, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of once you get out and there's this bad taste in your mouth, and they want you to go to the VA for this and that, it's just like, so you get that sort of disenfranchisement and anger. And walking into the VA and being given 5 books worth of paperwork doesn't help that, right? And
yeah. Agreed.
So I think ultimately, we have to pull the Marine or the serviceman outside of the unit to kind of get these things done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a good point. We got Jess in now. Jess, how you doing? Sorry, he's from the great white north is what I like to call it, although it's not always white. But Jess, how are
things? Great gray north today.
Yeah, the great gray north.
About the snow. So
yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
All right. So you're joining us a little late. This is Adam. I don't know if you were listening before you joined, but Adam he's an author, written a book, Finding Our Voice. And anyway, we've been talking about transitioning out of the military and ways that it can be improved upon or our ideas. So,
well, we kind of talk about that quite a bit. I think that's one of the things that us trying to do this better is something that's been really hard for a long time. So,
yeah, it has been. Now, I think, like I was telling just a little bit ago, I think as time goes on, we're getting better at it, but I still don't think we're hitting all the wickets. I don't think that we're getting everything that needs to be there. And Adam was bringing up having people coming in, more job fair type stuff instead of the TAMPs, that type of stuff. And I think that's a fantastic idea.
First step is actually just talking about it and saying that there's a problem. And I think for the longest time we didn't admit there was a problem with it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's almost like alcoholism. The first step is admitting you have a problem.
Wow.
So
dang it.
That's
comes back to that. You messed me up. Thanks, man.
I read a really good I read a really good article about that this week where it was transitioning out of the special type operations units and EMS. There's that there isn't, no one's really cracked the code yet. And I think that's we're kind of dealing with the suicide within our unit or our friend group that I think the impetus was he just couldn't hang him up. So
and that's something that you've dealt with like within the last couple of weeks here. The veteran suicide thing, it is very close to home for you right now. So how do we make things better, make it easier, and make people feel more at ease to talk about those types of things? I don't have that answer.
We have to learn how to accept help because we're typically the ones people go to for help. And so when you asking for help is like the first sign of weakness, and it's one of the first things we don't know how to do. Sorry, I coming in late, Adam. I apologize for storming in.
No worries. Hey, AC, I might have to run here in about 5 minutes,
Yeah,
but
you're good, man. You're good.
yeah.
Thank,
But if you want to ask
well,
me one last question, and
well,
then I can hand it over to these guys.
I would like to put the plug in for your book, if you don't mind. Finding Our Voices. If you don't mind, where can people find it? Tell us a little bit about it, and then let's do that plug.
Okay, yeah. So the book is Finding Our Voice, the story of leadership in crisis and the American spirit abroad. It's now available on Amazon. It's available on Barnes and Noble. It's available on Apple Books. It's available on Goodreads. Pretty much anywhere you can buy books at this point online, it's available. Ebook, paperback, hardcover, etc. The book is really basically a chronicle of how I led the American business community in a faraway land called Yangon, Myanmar. Myanmar is basically the country next to Thailand that's formerly called Burma. It's the longest running civil war in modern history. And after the coup d'etat in February 1st, 2021, basically, my American business community basically collapsed, and I stepped up and led that then was called the American Chamber of Commerce Myanmar. And the book chronicles kind of that leadership as I did it through 12 speeches that I gave to my community.
Mm-hmm.
And it also tells kind of the story of how I arrived to Myanmar in the prologue of the book, which is what we were kind of talking about earlier. My kind of bout with not depression, but more or less darkness and anger when I left the Marine Corps, after Afghanistan, transitioning to the reserves, couldn't find a job, and how I found my way to this faraway land, and started my own company from there. So that's the book.
And you said you're also going to have a audio version eventually. Yeah, you're going to do the audio. Is that right?
Yeah, so we just talked about that today. I have to do my because I'm hiring an actor to do the majority of the book, but since the speech transcripts are so there's 12 chapters, since there's 12 speeches, and at the end of each chapter there's the speech transcript that I actually gave to my community. I'm actually going to do those speeches on the audiobook. So I have to do my recording at the end of April, end of this month. But basically I decided today, okay, so they gave me the time frame in terms of how long it's going to take to. I'm like, okay, well then how about we just release it July 4th then?
Ooh, okay. I like that.
So that's what we're aiming for now. Right.
All right. That's really cool, man. Now you're in the DC area currently, and how long are you going to be there? Are you going to be there through the end of the month?
No, I'll be only here till basically till the end of next week, right? I'll be here through the entire Easter week. And then I'm heading back to California. I'll be based there for the remainder of my trip till May 6th. I'll be still doing podcasts, etc. Like I'm doing a podcast next week with my publisher, more of an author's kind of podcast. I'm also doing one on probably one on drugs soon, but that's with a former DEA agent. That one will be more driven towards, obviously, Myanmar is one of the biggest producers of methamphetamine and synthetic drugs in the Asia Pacific, the Golden Triangle. So I'll be talking about that as well. But yeah, and we'll see what other sort of podcasts and publicity I'm doing on this kind of quasi book tour that I'm on.
Yeah. Well, Adam, I got to tell you, I've got quite a few podcaster buddies that are out there. So if you don't mind, I'll give them your contact info, and if you can make it on one of their programs or what have you, maybe that'll be good for you. But I'll have them reach out to you if you're okay with it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can connect me with whoever, and happy to do these. I really kind of like these veteran talks. It gives us a chance to kind of more talk about our time our time transitioning, as well as what we did afterwards in terms of picking ourselves up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, shoot, Adam, you've done a heck of a job, man. And thank you for what you've done, putting that book together, and what you've done abroad, right? I don't know. You're doing some amazing stuff. Maybe someday I'll live up to you, but you're doing great things, man. Keep it up.
All right, AC. Well, thanks for having me on again tonight, and then I'll leave it to these guys to take it away. Right. So thanks, guys, for taking over.
All right. Thanks, Adam, man. You take it
Thanks,
easy.
Adam.
Semper Fi.
See you guys.
Oh, fellas. Jess, you came in late, man. You all right? You good?
We got some news at Department of Interior today, so it's a spicy day again.
Oh,
So.
Spicy. Okay.
Yes.
Good times.
Optional resignations. I came up again. So.
Oh shoot.
That's fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Then on the way home, I ran into a guy I worked at a gun shop with, and he's a guide in Georgia and Idaho. So he goes down to winters in Georgia, and he's a hunting guide down there, and then he goes out to Idaho in the late summer. So
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty smart.
He's I haven't seen Kevin in a while, so it's always good catching up with Kevin. But I mean, I was like stopping in and grab something to drink, and next thing you know, I was like having a full-on conversation with Kevin. But yeah,
very nice.
Driving his Warlock around town and talking about staying in Georgia and the snakes and all the other fun stuff. I was like, oof, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Speaking of snakes, man, the other day, one of my cats decided to grace our presence with a snake that he found outside, brought it inside to play with, and wife kind of freaked out and was yelling for me, and I'm like taking a shower, and I'm like, what? And I come in, and there's a baby snake, so I had to throw it outside. But
what kind of a snake?
I don't know. I couldn't tell. It was a little snake. I don't know. I didn't grab it with my hands. I can tell you that. I just grabbed it and threw it out with a paper plate. Actually, I just smashed him up and threw him. That's what I had available at the time.
Andrew had the oven mitts on.
I had the oven mitts, and I don't like snakes, to be honest with you. I do have a really cool picture of me and snakes, though. We went to where the heck did we go? Somewhere in maybe it was Seattle. I can't remember. We're doing a parade somewhere, and there was a guy, and he had like 3 gigantic snakes.
My wife said, baby copperhead.
That's what my wife says. Anyway, this guy had 3 giant snakes, and I'm in uniform, right? And anyways, he like brings it over, and he just throws one over me, and I'm like, whoa, okay. And then he ends up throwing them all over me, and it was crazy, absolutely insane. But it's a cool photo. I'll have to send it to everybody.
There would have been a murder.
They were like what, boa constrictors or something like that. I don't know.
Don't care. There would have been a murder.
My wife says it was a copperhead. I don't know how she knows it was a copperhead. She says she looked it up. I couldn't tell it. It was a little snake. That's all I know. And I didn't let it bite me. So, there's that.
That's why you always make sure you got snake shot with you.
Oh, yeah.
We just talked about that. And, I was just talking to Kevin about that. Little 38 snake shot.
Yep.
Yep.
I've got a little snub nose 38 that my dad gave me, and
that's what you use it for, huh? Nice.
Little hand cannon. He was talking about running a judge. No, he's talking about running a judge. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need that, man. I don't need a 410. I'm good. It's a little 38 all I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Want to keep
that might be overkill.
Or under dead. That's the way to look at it. Overkill is vastly superior than under dead in my book.
That's a good point. I can see that for sure. That's funny. Hey guys, I gotta show this off. Look at this.
Oh, polo.
My new polo. Got the little thing in there. Anyways, I thought that was cool. And look what I did. I reshaped this hat today. I cut the brim down, right? Make it into more of a fedora shape, and then I shaped the top here. If you can see that,
they call steam it and everything.
Huh?
Would you steam it?
Yeah. How is she going to shape it?
Well, that's what I was saying. Did you steam it?
You can put it under hot water. That does it too, but it makes it softer if you do that. But Yeah, so this is a because normally a cattleman's crease, right? That's just down the center, and then this one they call the PCH. You know what that stands for?
Pacific Coast Highway.
It does. As a matter of fact, I had to look that up. Anyways, I saw a guy making hats, and he was talking
I'm not
about
trying to be a smart ass. It's just the only one I knew.
Yeah, no, it was right though. It was right. Anyway, he was talking about the cattleman's crease and the lower profile, right? And it touches the top of your head. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. It does because it won't seat down low enough. And he is like, so I've kind of widened the back part of it, and and then put what do you call that? A bump in the top. I don't know, a head. I don't know what you call it, man. I'm no hat maker, but anyways, called it a PCH. Why? Because his shop is in Oceanside, California, right there on the PCH. So he called it the PCH. And I was bonus, I'll take it. And so I did my hat that way. And I like it, man. It feels good. It's nice, Anyways.
So my grandpa collected hats. He had one for every harvest that they brought in.
Oh,
and
nice.
He'd go when they every harvest he'd come in, he'd go to the hat shop and buy himself a new hat.
Yeah.
And when he passed, there was a closet in their house that was nothing but hat boxes. And we were going through all of his hats. And he was a little guy. And none of us could fit in his hats. But there was you could see the styles progress from the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s,
funny.
the 70s.
Yeah.
And some of them were just straight pimp hats. There was the feather hanging at the side. I was like,
yeah, buddy.
And and he was deaf because he ran these old threshing machines forever. I was like, Grandpa, you weren't a pimp, were you? He's like, my grandma looks at me. He's like, no, he was not. I was like, Jesus. He couldn't hear a word I was saying, but as fast as her head snapped around, I was like, oh shit, that's a nerd there.
He was not.
Bald as an 8-ball, man, but he had those hats. That was his thing.
Yeah.
But no,
I think I found my so the style. Width right on the brim 2.5. I really like the 2.5, right? So I'll grab my other hat. So I just turned it into a hat thing. So I did the PCH on this one as well, but that is a 2-inch brim, right? Anyways, it's a little different, not much, although it does have the little, I don't know, cloth thing on the outside. I don't know what the heck you call it. You think as much as I like hats, I would remember what the heck to call everything. I don't.
I got that one Stetson hanging up there. That's my original Stetson. And then the rest are all ball caps.
Now I do have a lot of ball caps, man. I probably have about 30 or 40 ball caps. Because everywhere you go, somebody has a ball cap. They're like, here, have this ball cap, have this ball cap.
It's got to be specific. It's got to be a dad hat closed in the back with no structure. Otherwise, those things start popping out, and I hate that so much.
Yeah, I can't stand strap backs or whatever the hell you call them, trucker hats, and I can't stand them.
I sell, man. Don't knock the trucker hat.
No, I'm not knocking your hat. They just don't fit my head right. They just don't fit my head right.
I don't like those. See,
not at all.
Jarhead jabber. Trucker hat.
Get a dad hat. Yeah. Unstructured dad hats.
I have. Hold on.
Fitted.
I'll find it. Hold on. I got one over here. It was the one that I sold on the back.
That's my go-to. And if you don't sell a dad hat, I'm not buying it. The flat brim bullshit. No.
Son of a gun. Where the heck?
I was gonna say, Jess, yeah, you'd look good with a straight brim.
No.
Yeah, just sitting on top of your grape.
I'm not a Dominican pitcher.
I don't know where I put it, man.
It's not my first season.
I have a dad hat that you're talking about, man. It's a
box of them here. Well, there was a point in the early 2000s, no, the 10s, where I think it was LA Police Gear was selling American dad hats, and they're $5. And I was like, send me 10, different colors. You can stitch them in the back.
Every outfit.
No, because you burn through them in Western Afghanistan, Herat. You sweat through, and then they start changing weird colors, and and then everything got boiled there.
Yeah.
So we handed in laundry, came back, and this used to fit. Now it doesn't fit my kid. Thanks.
It's used to fit.
The Kohl's the Kohl's shopping list I had when I got out there. You buy a bunch of shirts because they're not coming home. You just put them in a pile. Like, here you go. On to the next crew. Whoever. If you guys want it, it's yours.
It's pretty
No.
good. It's
Nah,
pretty good.
man. So,
My
Myanmar,
wife is
huh?
watching this. I got to buy a straw hat for this summer, though. I got to get me a straw hat.
Oh, that's so gross.
Huh?
Ugh.
You don't. Hey, straw
They
hats
have
are,
a funk to them. The longer you wear them.
Well, you got to wash it, man. You gotta.
A straw hat?
Yeah, you can wash it. Wash a hat.
Okay.
Not in the washing machine or the freaking.
I know what you're saying.
You just
I'm good.
Clean it out, man. Clean your funk.
Good. If it doesn't, the older I get, the less care I want to do with my laundry. I don't like to iron shit.
I got you.
If I can't all wash it together, it does not need to be done. I don't need it.
I'll sweat too much in this when it's 100 degrees and I got this on. I'm like dying, man.
Put a vent on top.
I guess I could cut something cool in the sides or something, you know.
Yeah, just put a vent on top. You're tall. Nobody can see in it.
Yeah, just cut out the whole top here. Nobody will see.
You seen those ones online? The Australian chiller hats.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's you can literally get them soaking wet and put it back on your head.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I've been noticing lately is the Iranian hats. Because they've been showing all the pictures like the IRGC and that, and they have like these super long bills, and they just look comically large. And then there's a show on Apple, like Tehran or something like that, and like the IRGC had like these. It's like a bill, but they forgot to like cut it back, and it's like another 4 inches long. And it looks like a caricature of a hat. Like,
they used to wear those in the desert a lot. Yeah.
Oh.
Really long bill, but then it would have the flaps that came down like
over your ears. This is just like a baseball hat, except the bill is just like super long. It looks like spy versus spy shit.
What is that movie? Oh crap! Baseball. It's about baseball. Little League or no? They play in the backyard. The dog, you know.
Sandlot.
Sandlot. Yeah, the kid that is the main character in that, right? He comes out and he has that. It has a trout on it, and it has a long bill like that. And you don't remember that?
Not around anymore. No. I'm gonna say something very unpopular. I've never seen the movie.
I hate you right now.
Let it out, big guy. Let it out.
I can't. You seriously have never seen The Sandlot?
Yeah, you're killing me, Smalls.
You are killing me, Smalls.
I know the line. It's just
come on, dude. Okay. Hey, Jess.
There are phases in my life where I just blacked out from society. Jess, I was like gone.
You have to watch The Sandlot, man. That is a must see.
The longer I go without seeing it, the more interesting my life has become because it just pisses you guys off.
That is true. I can see how everyone from our generation would be pissed off that you haven't seen it. I could totally see that.
How old are you?
I'm 40. How old am I? 48, 49? I don't know.
What year
I'm one of those. 48 or 49.
93.
You know,
it came out in April of 93. I was busy that year.
What were you doing?
I was a junior in high school.
That is prime perfect time for you to watch that movie.
No, I was running track. I was doing shit. I was getting jobs.
That's true. I guess you were doing jobs. Anyways, and it
was like $5 a movie and it was 40 miles to go see a movie when I was in high school. So I picked.
That's
the last movie I saw. Okay, here's a question for the group. What's the last movie you saw before you went in?
Oh shit. That's a good question. Last movie I saw before.
It had to be a Steven Seagal or Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Whew, I have no idea.
I went in 92, so yeah, it had to have been.
Yeah, I don't know.
The last movie I saw before I went in.
What was it?
Forrest Gump.
Get out of town. Are you serious?
That's serious.
I mean, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
So when he's yelling at me, I was in the back of my head, whatever you tell me to do, drill sergeant.
If you would have answered that way, it would have been priceless. Whatever you tell me to do, drill sergeant.
There was
What
a
do you
lot
say?
of
You're a
smiling.
goddamn genius.
Yeah,
That's right. That was the last movie I saw. It was like
Okay, I got to tell the story. And if this kid is
Uh-oh.
out there, I say kid, he's not a kid anymore, but this recruit
They're
eventually
always
became
kids.
a Marine. If he's out there, I was a senior drill instructor, and this kid was from
Sergeant Major.
Arkansas. And the dude had a messed up grill. I'm not going to lie. It was.
That is a theme. I'm not gonna lie. When you said Arkansas, I just heard. I know exactly what you're talking about. Our guy from Arkansas had the same problem. They joined for dental.
He was poor, man. He came from a poor family, and I don't knock him. Anyways, this kid was the funniest freaking dude, and he wasn't trying to be funny, but he would crack me up. I mean, dying laughing, and probably at the kid's expense, and I feel bad about it. I do. I feel bad.
Why?
But anyways, so the kid throughout the time, I would always mess with him. And one time I made him put together a band that he was going to perform in front of the entire series. It might have been the entire company. I can't remember. It had to have been the company. And I was like, you're going to put together this band and you got to perform in front of the company. And I talked to the, I think it was a series commander or somebody. And anyways, whoever was giving the class. And I'm like, hey, look, you got to let me do this. And he's like, okay, yeah, whatever. And he comes up to me. He's like, sir, when does this recruit practice? And I was like, buddy, that's on you, man. You got to figure it out. I mean, that's totally you. Figure the fuck out and just make it happen. And I swear to God, he did it, man. He pulled in recruits from different platoons throughout the company, not just the series, the company. And they would go down to the laundry area. So at night, they do laundry. So they'd meet at like 3 a.m. and
No, I have no idea what you're
parts.
saying right now.
No, that makes no sense to me either. Laundry? No.
I have no idea what laundry.
I know. It's a new thing. Okay. I know you used to do your laundry outside on the thing. I did too. Yeah. But they have laundry where they actually go down and do it nowadays. Anyways, they would go down there and they would meet up and practice. So then it come time for it. I'm like, hey, are you ready to do this? And he's like, yes, sir. I'm like, okay, man, this is your time to shine. He went down and he did it, man. Oh my God, it was great. Oh my. And he had a piano player and guys out there playing piano. He had to sing the piano parts and the guy playing guitar. Of course, it's all air, right? But oh man, it was fabulous. And he sang. I can't remember what they sang, but man, I was rolling. Anyway, so fast forward close to into boot camp. And there were so many meritorious promotions that go around, right? So like, hey, this platoon gets this many, this platoon gets this many, whatever. Well, there was an extra promotion. So like my guide and 2 of my squad leaders were getting promoted. And then I had 2 squad leaders that were already contract PFCs. So I'm like, you guys aren't getting promoted. Right. So the series commander comes down and he's like, hey man, I got this extra promotion. You want it? And I was like, yeah, let me figure out who I want to give it to or what have you. So that evening I walked out and I'm looking around and I see this recruit and I'm like, if there's anybody in this fucking world that needs a leg up on the competition, it's this dude. I'm like, he's a reservist, but he needs some, like, if I can help him in any way, I need to help him. So I go back to my series commander. I'm like, hey, I figured out who it's going to be. He's like, all right, who's that? And I tell him, and he's like, there ain't no way. He's like, there is no way that anybody's going to sign off on that. And I was like, that's the only way it's going to happen. I was like, this guy, if there's anybody in this world that deserves it, is this guy. He needs it. Like, he needs that leg up. And I convinced the series commander, convinced the company commander, and sure as shit, man, he got meritoriously promoted to PFC out of boot camp. And I remember going in front of him because I was going to pin him. And I went in front of him and I was like, if there's anybody that needs this, it's you. You better do something with this. I'm like,
earn this.
Need it, man. And I pinned him PFC and I was like, good luck. And I have no idea where he went. I can't even remember his name right now. My wife probably knows it, but I can't remember.
Did you Saving Private Ryan him? Earn
I did.
this.
Dude. But he was, I mean, he wanted to do so good all the time. And the poor guy almost got dropped because he had to go to dental so much.
Yeah.
Like I had the series commander come to me and it's like, this kid's getting dropped. If he misses another event, he's getting dropped. And I'm like, why? Yeah. And they're like, because he's going to dental. I said, I can't drop this kid. Like, I can't do it, man. I feel bad. Like, I don't want to drop him. And so I finagled it, man. I figured out a way to make it happen. And he was able to get his dental appointments done and all that stuff, man. And he graduated with us.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a success story.
His name, man? I really wish I could remember his name.
But he was one of your recruits, though. I mean, you said he was probably the funniest kid you knew as far as recruits.
Yeah. But not that he was funny in a sense of joking funny. He was just funny in a sense of I'm from Arkansas backwoods country boy funny, if you know what I mean. I felt bad, but you know, that's what you did as a drill instructor. You picked on their weaknesses.
So
you were just saying funny. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, we had the clash of cultures in our platoon. It was like a third from Texas, a third from LA, and then the rest of us just scattered around the country. And watching the California and Texas, like, it was the wildest thing ever. Just the Texans saying the stupidest shit you've ever heard in your life. I'm like, there's no way you believe that, right? And like, no, that's the way it is. And I'm like, stop it. You're insulting the natural order of things. And the California guys, just as soon as they touch grass, their hands would just like go weird. I'm like, I've never felt grass before. And I'm like, what are you even saying at me? And then
I mean,
the first time they slept under the stars, they're just like, where's all the light at? Like, they're just freaked out.
Yeah, how dark it is.
Yeah. They're like, it's not orange out here. Like, it's not LA or San Francisco.
That's funny.
It's like they've never been outside before. It's like so wild. And then the kids who like decided to get Marine tats before they came in are like, this kid is gonna die.
Those guys never had a good day, man.
Dude, there's a guy who had a full-on guy in dress blues saluting with cross flags on his cap.
Serious?
I'm like, dude, they are going to eat his soul in front of us. They did.
Yeah, that's bad, man. You don't get a Marine tattoo before you graduate boot camp. That's just bad.
that was hilarious.
Bad. That's bad.
But like the Texas guys and the California guys just always going after each other. Like, they was just sit back and let them tear each other apart. But like the rest of us were just like, this is kind of fun.
I had this recruit. I've probably told this story before, so if I have, please stop me. But I had this recruit. He was my scribe, and his mom, because as a senior drill instructor, you're supposed to send out your information. If you ever need anything, whatever, email me. She would email me all the time, and every single time she would email me, I would walk out on the quarterdeck and I would say, guess who emailed me today? And they, and he knew it, right? He knew. He's like, oh, dang it, man. I was like, that's right. My girlfriend emailed me, so why don't you just go ahead and get on the quarterdeck? And I was like, drill instructors, get him. And they would IT the crap out of him, right? So he would write letters home and he'd be like, Mom, stop emailing the senior drill instructor. Every time you do, I'm getting in trouble. And so she would email me. She's like, you're not punishing my kid for me emailing you, are you? And I'm like, absolutely not. I would never do such a thing. And then I would walk out on the quarterdeck, buddy.
Send, let's go.
That kid, every time I walked out, he was like, oh, no.
So that's where it'd be nice if you could send video. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
and send a video back of him.
Ricardo Lamelli. Look at that.
While he's hanging on the pull-up bars up there like this with his armpits over the bar hanging.
Hey, Lamelli, he was a drill instructor with me, Ricardo. If you're still out there, Ricardo, say something. Say hi or something on the chat. I don't know what you're doing. Oh, he gave us a salute. Oh, I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you're doing well.
So our guide in boot camp was reservist out of Long Beach, and he played football at Long Beach State. I think he was older than the rest of us. So he was just a big boy.
Yeah.
And he was a California boy, and all of his sisters, which he had a lot of, were like in Thousand Oaks, and they would come down. And I think they're dating our drill instructors.
Oh, dude.
So
that
the
happens.
funny part was, I thought it was wild when I'm on JTF 6 out in El Toro, and we're out in like Cleveland National Park looking for weed in a drought. I think I covered this in the story, but we like, hey, let's go see this Men in Black movie. It looks pretty decent. So we smelled like a raccoon's ass because we've been in the field for like a week. It just you can't get that funk. You can't get that funk off of you. We're cammied up, so there's like green paint in our ears and shit. Like, oh god, you just feel gross. But I'm like, all right, let's go. We pile out the Irvine Spectrum, and I'm sitting there in the movie, and all of a sudden I see like the selection for Will Smith, the first one, and there's Sean fucking Bunch, my guide from boot camp, up on the big screen. He was the Marine on that.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. He was my guy.
That's cool.
And then I see him in We Were Soldiers. He's the guy who got like the thermite, the grenade burned his face. That's Sean.
Really?
Yeah. And then
that's
he's been in all sorts of things. So every time I like see a military movie, I was like, I wonder if Sean's in this one. He was our guide. He was guide from day one until the day we graduated.
How many movies do you think that he's been in?
I can pull up his IMDb, but let's see.
That's pretty cool.
He was advisor for one of those Iraq movies, but he switched over active duty as a Anglico in Iraq. But he was, it's just like weird. I'll see him on NCIS once in a while. He was in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Like you see like this giant walking down the hills. Like, that's Sean. I know him. It's like the weirdest shit.
That's pretty cool though. Hey, Lamelli, if you're still listening,
there was no chance we ever had a shot at guide.
Lamelli, if you're still listening, did you retire or are you still in? I can't remember if he retired or not.
Oh my god.
Anyway, sorry. Every now and again, somebody will pop on here and I'm like, oh crap, I know that guy.
Criminal Minds, NCIS, Top Shot, Castle, CSI New York, Chuck, The Pacific, Ghost Whisperer, Cold Case, Lie to Me, Over There, Without a Trace.
Dang, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Dreamland, Jag, Men in Black.
Dang.
He's a stunt guy too, so he was in Dexter, Deadliest Warrior.
Dexter was the serial killer TV show on HBO, right?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, he's married and has 4 kids. That's wild.
Recruiting duty in Riverside. Sergeant Major? Sergeant Major, right, Lamelli? I think he's a Sergeant Major now. Anyways, Lamelli's a good dude. I was with him on drill instructor duty and then met up with him again at 3rd Mall, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
No, so
I don't know what the weird face. Oh yeah, so you're a Sergeant Major. Okay, nice. We'll have to have you on sometime. You know, you should turn your recruits on to some of these recruits. The pulleys. Is that what you call them? Pulleys. You should turn the pulleys on to some of these podcasts, man. There's some good stories out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably a bad idea.
I don't know, man. There's some good stories. Maybe not the fireside chats, but
yes. Yeah,
dude, there's some of the veteran stories.
Yeah, particularly one where someone's going on about fat chicks and having a stoplight in his freaking living room or something like that. Yeah, it's like, okay, let's not do that. Man. It's like, here we go again. After the one, I was like, come on, man.
But he was good. He was good. You should watch his. I miss you too, man. Hey, if you got my number, please give me a call, man. I don't know if you do. I'll tell it to you. Here you go. Ready? 949-842. 5898. That's my number, man. Hit me up, 949-842-5898. Anyways, hit me up, man. We'll get you on here sometime.
Sean was in the Green Day video, by the way. Wake Me Up When September Ends. He was in that. He was the squad leader.
Lord.
So like I'm saying, it's wild. I'll just be like living my normal life. There's this guy I went to boot camp with on the fucking screen. I'm like, God damn it.
That's pretty cool, though.
No, it's weird.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Hey, at least he's working.
That's true.
It's good on. But
yeah,
boot camp.
And God bless you too, man.
Oh, speaking of MCRD, I do have a piece. So one of our guys said, hey, you need to go check out the museum down in the gift shop at the MCRD museum. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, whatever. And then I found like one of the weirdest shaped coins. So that's Iwo Jima.
What?
They
That's
cut
cool.
it. And there's Sarabachi at the bottom.
Yeah.
But it's got the divisions. It's the 75th anniversary. Uncommon Valor on the back. It's like they cut it out. It's amazing. They're like $15 for a coin. Uncommon Valor. Uncommon Valor is a common virtue. February 19th, March 26th, 1945, 75th anniversary. And then as I kept going through there, they still have boot camp books and boot camp photos. So if you've lost them over the years, you can find your boot camp photos, like the platoons and the graduation books.
Really, I need to reach out because I got to find all my stuff, man.
Yeah, but you can break it down by year, by like platoon, all that. It's like $55, which a lot of guys have lost theirs over the years, moves and all that shit. So there's your oh shit moment.
Yeah, I've still got mine, but I look at some of them and I'm like, who the hell is that? Who the hell is that?
I don't know.
I remember faces, but I don't remember names.
That's why
there's only a handful of them.
I don't. Well, I know one. I can remember one specifically that I went to boot camp with, and he died a while back. And then there were three. I think it was three guys from my platoon that were. You remember the Osprey out in Yuma? One of the first crashes that they had out there.
I went to school with those guys.
They were on. They were one of the infantry squads or whatever that were on that.
I went to school with some of those guys on the. That was a rough one.
Yeah,
I still have never fallen on an Osprey either. And
then there was one of the guys literally was running out to one of the Osprey, the one that crashed. Right, he's running out to it, and somebody at the last minute said, "Hey, you got to get on the other one." So he turned and went to the other one. He lived. His buddies died.
Because that was 3-5.
Yeah,
they pulled them out of rotation for testing phase, and
I don't blame
that's
them.
what they explained to us. And they pulled them out of rotation so they could do like testing, all that. And they're like, "Hey, you guys are lucky." And then they got smoked with that.
Yeah, they did.
And that's the Osprey thing. That's just like
that was how. I mean, that was quite a few. That was like what 15. Something.
That was a squad.
It might have been more than 15. I don't know because you had the pilots and everybody.
Yep.
Because that was in what
2000,
right?
No, I think it was one of the first ones.
I'll say it was before Iraq.
Yeah, it was before Iraq. Yeah,
it was before 9/11.
Yeah,
I think it was 2000 time frame because I came in 99. I mean, it might have happened in 99, 2000, something like that.
Jesus, it's April 2000. That's right.
April. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, that sucked.
That's ridiculous. 26 years ago.
How many was it? Did it say?
Yep, I'm pulling it up right now. I have like 19.
19. Yeah. God bless, man. Yeah, that was
December
tough, man.
2000. There's another one.
When was it?
I was going to say there was more than one, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
April is the big one. That was like 19. December of 2000. There was 4 at New River.
Was that the one that didn't it go over the side of a ship?
Oh no,
was
that was a 46, and that is a
okay.
crazy fucking story. So that, all right, gonna get weird here. So that was my first month at Camp Pendleton, transitioning from 29 Palms down, and I just went from one MEF over to hey, we need to go somebody to the 11th MEU. You're going over. I'm like, thank you very much. I appreciate this. Anyway, I get to not get a break at Camp Pendleton. I'm going right out and being a ship guy. And so I'm down at Del Mar before all that happens. 11th MEU is still trying to make its way back from East Timor. And I'm doing an advon for them. It's like meeting up when they come off. And my buddy was on the 15th MEU from Minnesota. And we're like, I heard that we had an accident. I was like, and Del Mar, that was before MEF got there. So it was a sleepy little like MEU town with like landing support battalion and boat company, like the boat house, and then like Amtrak test. And
they didn't even have all the barracks filled up then.
We didn't have MEF built down there yet.
Oh wow!
So MEF was still over on main side.
Gotcha.
And when a tragedy, I mean, when something like that happened, the MEU world shuts down because everybody's like, "Oh, what happened?" And a 46 hooked on the man, and then flipped over. And they were like the VBSS team, so they're all like recon and trailers and all these guys. And there's a lot of things we had to do after that. So we had to do like HEEDS training and all sorts of like breather stuff. But crazy part was our household goods came down from 29 Palms to Camp Pendleton, and the guys who were moving us in, they're all former guests of the state of California. So Chino, all like Pelican Bay.
Yeah.
And they were talking about I was like, this. So what do you do? I was like, I work on the ships and all that stuff. I was like, oh yeah, that's great. And then one of the guys like gets real quiet. And he's like, that was that house we did. And I was like, and everybody got real quiet real fast. And like, oh, I was like, what's going on, guys? And all of them had a tear in their eye because they moved that corpsman's wife off, and she'd not been in the house since the day it happened, and it broke them. So you got these like hardcore inmates or former inmates, like convicts. They were moving like base housing, and they're like, yeah, that one was. They're like kind of telling the story. It's like, oh my god, dude. Yeah, that was like wild. They're just like, these guys have been through a couple things. They've done some stuff. You don't expect that type of reaction from them. It was, but that was a MEU thing, because every MEU we would lose at least. Oh God, there's a tithe that we had. There's like a tithe we had to pay as a MEU. You had to lose at least 3-4 guys on a workup. Helicopter crashes. Oh yeah, or at sea. Even you went out to sea, you lose guys.
Yeah.
We lost a kid over the side of the ship. We got hit by a rogue wave. Lost at sea.
Are you serious?
Happens. Oh, it happens all the time.
Wow.
They're just you can't. Crap, man. They're gone. They're like, a lot of times we didn't find the bodies.
Well, it's like even the cruise ships. Like if they say if somebody falls over the side of a cruise ship, by the time a cruise ship turns around, they're not going to find anybody. Like it's just not going to happen. So rule of thumb is don't fall off.
Watching the cameras, because it was on the flight deck, and he was there, and then he was gone. It was like, and he's gone.
Like, how did he? I mean, I don't know. It was just too close to the edge, and the ship moved in the wrong direction or something.
I think it was a rogue wave. They said.
Yeah, you got a wave coming in like that. There's no controlling anything.
But that was the Bella Wood we lost him on.
No shit.
No, we had a suicide.
On the Bella Wood?
Crashes. Not the Bella. That was like the small boy. God, that one was cursed because we started it off with a crash, a Yankee crash or a November crash. They had a Huey during down in Arizona. Then we had a guy was on a fork and he tipped and lost him. But the memorial page on a Mew book is always a little crazy. If it's going to go weird,
I didn't realize it was like that bad.
On a Mew? Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's dangerous, man. I mean, the nature of the job of what you're doing on a Mew is dangerous. People don't think that. Like they think, oh, it's just a Mew. Yeah, no big deal.
Well, they think cruise ship.
What's that?
They think it's a cruise ship. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're working. You're doing dangerous stuff, man.
But you do it, you live on it and you work on it and you exist on it for extended periods of time. You kind of start to just take it for granted and you start cutting corners. That's where it will reach up and snatch you back to reality.
Yeah.
But
what was that? Yeah, so day to day, it's just that monotony, probably.
Yeah.
And then you just get complacent, and next thing you know.
Well, it's confined spaces. It's
absolutely
big.
When was it that the landing craft went down, or the Amtrak?
Oh shit! That one was
that wasn't too long ago.
That was like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I knew one of the guys who had to go out there and help retrieve it. They tried to, and it was like it's too deep of water.
It was too deep, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever Amtraked off the back of a boat, that's an experience.
I don't want to. I've watched it, and I don't want to do it.
You sink, and then you hopefully come back up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No,
that's a bobber I don't want to be in. I don't want to be in a bobber.
Yeah, you can have it. Those guys, it takes a special person to be like, hey, I'm going to take this ridiculously heavy vehicle. I'm going to ride it off into the ocean and see what happens. You know?
Even the new ones, I'm like, I'm good.
No. Yeah, you can have it.
So we had a vehicle sink in the Colorado, and Gunner Vickers, he was a Lance Corporal at the time, but we were watching the video, and LAVs are they're riverine capable. They're fun, but you've got to do everything perfect. And if you turn, it goes like 4 knots. It's super slow. We swim them in the Del Mar Boat Basin, and confidence in the riverine is like, I don't trust that shit for shit. Man. I'm a desert guy. I'm not swimming in it if I don't have to. But you see it all of a sudden make a little bit of a right-hand turn, and all of a sudden it's like, and it's going under. And the thing is, LAVs, when it's in the river, the wheels spin it upside down.
Really?
So we're watching the video from the shore because they're filming it. And you see one pop up, another guy pop up, and there's 3 on the crew. Like, holy shit. But the guy that was the driver was a lifeguard. And so he had to work his way out because the driver's hatch was flipped upside down and buried. And the escape hatch on the side wouldn't open. So he had to clow all the way around the turret, through the vehicle in the pitch black, and open up the rear hatches and escape out. And he was like bobbing up, catching air pockets and doing the whole thing.
But he was able to make it out.
He calmed himself down. But
good for him, man.
Vickers, he survived it. Because that was like we're watching the video, it's like, wow, he was under there a while. But that's
like you said, he was finding air pockets and stuff.
Yeah, but in the pitch black. That's kind of a good luck.
You know what? I'm a swimmer and I was a McQuist and all that good stuff, but I don't want no part of that, man. I'm okay.
Everything on you is trying to catch on everything in there too, and everything is upside down.
Yeah.
So everything is like trying to grab your camis, trying to grab your boots, the laces. I mean, we didn't wear CVC suits a lot. We wore camis most of the time, and you got the vest on, you got the helmet. Everything is like loose in there. It's pitch black. You can get snagged up and get got. So, but
in a heartbeat, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he retired as a gunner. He was like a Marine gunner.
No kidding.
But,
wow.
Yeah. That was
man.
There's days. But but the Mew life was there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
And there was an old saying, and this is we had a General Patton. He was an air winger, but
wait.
So the story was he was
You're old, dude.
Charles S. Steve Patton. He plays basketball like a
How old
savage,
are
by the way.
you? You
I'm old.
lie about your age all the time. If you
Yeah,
had Patton, man, come on, dude.
Yeah. So, the story was he was a Huey pilot in Vietnam, and he got a couple frames shot off underneath him, and then he got out of the Army, went to Texas A&M, commissioned, and became a Harrier pilot. And then he was doing loss of controlled flight testing, which is like spins and rolls and all that. He'd stall them out and like have to recover. He was a test pilot, but
That man.
he had this saying. He's like, and every once in a while, he like, and I know, but it's kind of an old saying now. It's like the most important 6 inches on a ship is between your ears. If you can be comfortable in that space, you're going to make it just fine. If you need space to maneuver and you need space to operate, the close confines of the ship are going to drive you up a wall. And watching guys go crazy on a ship happens all the time.
I think I would go crazy on a ship, man. I don't think I could do it.
You gotta find your place.
You gotta find something.
No, it's just everybody had their place. So, like the key to ship was like finding your place that made you like zen out.
Yeah.
So every once in a while on the wing walls, they'd open them up, and I was like, was in the S3, so I had more officers than enlisted, and we had 9mm out the ass, and every officer had a 9mm. So I grab all, like, go to the armory, check out like 5, 10 9mm, go to the wing walls with a fold-out chair, and just start scrubbing pistols and watch the ocean go by. That was like my time.
That was your thing. That was your go-to.
Yep. And then we had a SEAL commander who was part of the tasking unit, and he finagled it with the bosuns to bring his rowing machine up on the boat. So he, up in the forecastle, he convinced him like stores, and then he would drag it up to the flight deck when we weren't flying, and you can't hear anything, and he just pretend like he was rowing the boat.
That's like funny, man.
You see this guy up on the flight deck with a rowing machine, just like, whoa, like he was a Viking.
Could you imagine the videos that you could get of that now? You know what I'm saying? This dude just like rowing and on the ship flight deck. That's cool, man.
But everybody you had to find your place. A lot of guys found the gym. Mess decks was not the place to be. That's just like drama factory. God, mess decks, especially like 2 a.m. Like, just get the fuck out of here. Yes, nothing.
I don't know. For me, it would be sleeping in those racks, man. The coffins, what they call them. Yeah,
I sleep like a baby on those things.
Would you really?
I do.
Maybe I would. I don't know, but I don't know, man.
Slept like a baby on those things. The thing is like, if you had to like sleep like a certain way, it was like I couldn't roll over
or something, right?
I couldn't roll over.
Yeah,
I had to like dip a shoulder to get out. But I got rocked to sleep every night. That was the way it worked.
Good point.
The new ones are great. They got the L shape. You can sit up.
Yeah.
I was on the Green Bay as like a contractor, and this kid had a miniature projector, and he had a straight on like big screen TV set up with headphones in his rack. I'm like, dude, that kid is smart. But he's watching movies. A lot of shit's changed, but
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah. Changed a lot. But yeah, if you go to like the old boats, like the Denver, Dubuque, Cleveland, those things that's the surest way to insanity, because there's just shit floating down the passageways because the plumbing's always jacked up. It just smells like Vietnam and bad mistakes.
Well, it's amazing. That's the expectation that we have for people who are fighting our wars. So that's terrible.
But we had the old stanchion racks too. So the trick was you had to find someone your size. You had to get on at the same time and get off the same time, because it would tilt and dump you out. So you're like, all right, you team up with another guy, but they're like canvas with cabling. And if you fall asleep with the cable on your face, you wake up and you got this cable mark, and you're like, it's stuck in your face all day, like pieces of metal you had to pull out. But that was God, when Vlad Tumanoff, he was on the other side and I was on one. Like, and there's no divider. It's like surge birthing, they call it. And we get stuck with Amtrax. And Vlad gets up, take a piss at like middle of the night. And I just got dumped straight over. I was like, God damn it, lad. Like, I'm sorry, man. Or we were next to mechanical space. You had to sleep with earbuds in.
Yeah.
You couldn't hear shit. But yeah, you learn how to do it. You just in sleep. I knew a guy, oh God, ground sensor platoon guys. And these guys were like asleep. They'd sleep like 12 hours a day. And I was like, how do you guys sleep so much? I was like, dude, you're thinking about this all wrong, man. Like, if I sleep for 12 hours a day, this is only a 3-month cruise. I was like, God damn it. Shit like that, man. That's Mule life right now. So you get the 31st steaming across, you get the 11th. The weird part is the 11th and the Boxer's less. That was the boat I was on for the 9/11. So I was part of the 11th view on the Boxer. So when I see those two combo together, I was like, oh shit. That's wild for me.
Wow.
So well, they're heading over too.
Now
the Boxer's still floating.
Yeah. You all right?
My eyeballs were floating.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now too. So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about my career. This is gonna be a fun night.
Well,
Do I
I
take
hate
the
to- I hate
deferred
to say
resignation
this, but
program or retire, or what do I do? This is always fun for me right now.
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, retirement's not bad.
I had 2 years till early retirement though, so I'm really gonna like, yeah. Otherwise, I ride this in.
Yeah.
I don't want to get another job. God, that sounds like a pain in the ass.
Don't blame me. It ain't what it's cut out to be.
I know. Better the devil you know than the devil you don't, right?
Yep.
But boys, it's that time of the night. Oh, book. Got a book.
I hear you.
Yeah, tell me what book, man. Hit me up.
All right. Where did I put it?
Well, Jess is looking for that. You need to make sure you update everybody on Adam's book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Adam's a good character, man.
Yeah, he seems like it.
So, Finding Our Voice, a story of leadership in crisis and the American spirit abroad is the name of the book. And you can find it anywhere. I don't know about anywhere, but he did say
He said it won't be out till July.
I thought it was out now.
I think that was the audio
book was July.
Audio. Yeah.
So he's getting ready to get the audio stuff going on. But Adam Castillo, Marine veteran, I think got out as a captain, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but something like that. Anyways, has done some incredible things abroad, man. Smart dude for sure. So I'm glad we had him on. So if you guys out there, anybody out there, go and support him. Go and get his book. It's out there. He's doing some good stuff. My allergies are bothering me right now.
I hear you.
I look like Mike, struggling, man.
Look like Rocky.
Yeah. He been hit once or twice. Oh man.
All right, Jess.
All right. Do we ever talk about the Soldiers of the Will of a Nation?
Nope.
All right. So SLA Marshall is a very interesting writer. He was a colonel and he went through World War II. Then he became like a outside observer, and he was a very prolific writer about the Korean War. And if you find anything like The River and the Gauntlet, he's a very good writer. But he started dissecting the load that the guys were carrying ashore on D-Day and how they were overloaded because they were not sure how the supply system worked. So he started talking about how much everything weighed and everything that they carried. It is a super thin book, and they used to sell it at AFES for about, this one was for $2.45. Now it's $20 on eBay. But they break out how much these guys, the one-man logistics, and how it had not evolved since the time of Rome, and how much weight these guys were carrying ashore, and how it actually killed a lot of people in the surf because they go over the side and they drown because it got waterlogged. And he also talks about how much these guys were jumping out of airplanes with, and he breaks out how much it weighed. So the 57.2 pounds for road marching, total for approach march is 44 pounds. And then he also breaks down how light infantry failed, because light infantry is anything except light. It is just everything is getting thrown on your back. So, yes, this is 153rd Regiment went into Alaska, and here is what each man carried: underwear, shirt with tie, kersey line trousers, Alaskan field jacket, steel helmet, liner, raincoat, poncho, extra shoes, rifle belt, 6 grenades, 240 rounds of ammo. And it's not the 5.56, it's the heavy stuff. So 30-06 or 7.62. Rifle, pack board, sleeping bag, 2 shelter house poles and pins, 12 cans of sea rats, heat tablets, cook stove, 2 cans of sterno, long knife, entrenching tool, bayonet, flashlight, maps, pocketbook, change of clothing, wire cutters, waterproof matchbox, identification panel, rucksack, 4 chocolate bars, 3 signal panels, and that's a compass. And that's for almost an administrative move. But he starts talking about the lessons from Omaha. And Omaha Beach, there was a lot of guys who died because they were dragging ashore stuff they did not need. And this is what we use. We really started looking at this in the 90s because everything started weighing more. And we started carrying more for reasons, because we just kept adding to the gear list. Because what's the old adage? It's better to have and not need than need and not have.
Yeah.
Well, that was actually killing us. So we started looking at Alice and Molly. And Alice and Molly have broken more men than any other person and any other woman in the world.
That's a good point, man.
And then he started talking about the rule of safety, and actually is how it's breaking us. And we went to the mountains for Bridgeport. They started talking about that as well. And then here we go. And he breaks out the pounds. And the infantry rule is ounces make pounds and pounds break backs. So yeah, the question we started having to ask ourselves is, do we need it or do we want it? And we can start shaving it back. How do we find a better version of this? And that's where the late 90s, the push from the 72 gear to the Molly to the like all those things. And then we got away from it in Iraq because everything was mobile again, right?
Yep.
And then Afghanistan, it's just swinging back and forth. How much the batteries weigh? So this is the question he really kind of delves into in this book. The first half, that's part 1. Part 2 is the mobility of a nation. And he talks about the amount of wastage that happens because we start talking about mass production. And mass production, like, how much stuff do we really need versus what we want? And how much is it patriotism that these guys have chocolate bars and things, or the mobile PX in a carrier, or not the PX, but the Burger King?
Hold on a second. Don't be talking bad about the chocolate. We need the chocolate, okay? Don't talk bad about chocolate.
I understand, but is it mobility? Is it? We start talking about how much it takes to move from the factory all the way around the world.
Yeah.
And could it be used better? So he starts talking about that. And he starts talking also about the Soviet mobility, Soviet systems. This is like one of the first books we start talking about greater mobility. And mobility became a thing. And overseas, because we were not great at overseas expeditions, especially large-scale army operations. World War II is the first real test we had after World War I, but they captured a lot of the lessons, and a lot of that was put into this book. And it's a tiny little thin book. There are some pictures in it. They're not great. There's a lot of, do I need to bring my art easel with me? So that's an example of that. And this is 120 pages long. So this used to be a very good read, and we used to have great discussions about this too. When people started putting random shit on the gear list just to add weight, like, I think we should take SLA Marshall's example and ask us, do we really need it or do we want it? So Very good book. Out of print. He used to be part of the Marine Corps Association out of Quantico.
That really is a good point, though, because there's a lot of stuff that we pack that we don't need. So need versus want is a huge thing, and I don't know.
But the better to have and not need than need not have, that's another thing. And that's a lot of the questions that they're answering in Monterey right now at the Naval Postgrad School. How do we power an infantry company on littoral combat operations? So that same question keeps reinventing itself. How can we build generators that will last longer with less? Do we use solar? Do we use lithium? How do we power an infantry company over long periods of time with a very limited supply chain? And I think that question is being answered right now in Ukraine and the littoral combat regiments right now. So he wrote a really good book. But what happens when you have contested supply lines? Because if you ever look at the logistics of World War II in the Pacific, it's boggling.
Yeah.
So they built super highways of container ships just going back and forth. The amount of tonnage that was on the water in the Pacific during World War II is staggering. And you start talking of the Victory ships, the Liberty ships. They were building a ship like I forget, it was staggeringly fast.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah.
But
interesting. You know who we need to have on?
Read.
We need to have somebody on from recent times talking about the littoral combat teams and stuff like that. We need to have somebody on here that can talk about that, talk about what they're taking to combat, those types of things, how things are. We got to find somebody. So I bet you I know a guy, Marco.
I bet at Modern Day Marine.
Modern Day Marine. There's going to be some cool stuff at Modern Day Marine. I ain't gonna lie to you. So hopefully,
at Modern Day Marine, you can corner somebody and ask them how LCR works because
yeah. But I want to have them. I want to come. Yeah, I'll get them. I'm gonna strong arm them. I'll throw them down on the ground if I have to. Tie them up.
And that's the difference between a big amphib and small wars. So
yeah,
you remember the name? What's the name of that major who was pioneering the island hopping campaign? He was doing all that before World War II kicked out. I need to remember who that was. He was lost. He was basically going around the islands of the Pacific and just learning, and that was his concept, was amphibious versus big land armies. That was the divide between in the 30s. Are we going to be a small wars Marine Corps, or are we going to be a large amphibious Marine Corps?
Yeah.
So
we're still talking about that, man. Anyway, sorry.
It never ends. Oh yeah, great primer book, and it's made for PFCs to colonels. I think colonels need to read this more often, but whatever. You need to take your shelter hats, boys. For what? Stop it. That's what Ranger rules are for.
I don't think I've ever actually used a shelter half that I've packed. Not one time. Not one time have I used a shelter half that I packed. Sorry.
I still have like 4 poncho liners though. They're essential.
Poncho liners, different story. Different story. You can have
My kids use them.
They're awesome.
My kids use them.
They're awesome.
And she calls it a whoopee too. So
hey, that's funny. Have you seen the different jackets that they make out of that material now, man?
Can't wear them.
Have you tried? I mean, I've never had one, so I don't know.
They're too slick, and my pack always slides off.
I could see that. Yeah,
I always got a backpack.
But those would be great to keep under a jacket.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the field jacket liners.
About, Mike?
What's that?
You know what we're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The M65 liner over the hood, and have you ever seen the old guys that had the tailors? They take an M65 like field jacket liner, put a zipper on it, and just let it air out under the pits. Those guys are my heroes. Like that.
Those
that's
old.
smart.
There's nothing that beats the old field jackets with the liner, though. I don't think there's anything that. Well, maybe if they with the waterproofing stuff nowadays, maybe, but they had something going on with that old stuff, the old school stuff. It was warm.
Yep.
And I didn't
And
even
you
get
do this.
issued any of that stuff, but I used some of it, and I was like, "Dadgum, why did we get rid of this?"
Dago.
Yeah, that was me
retro
trying
now.
not to curse right there.
No, but anyway, that's my book.
All right, cool. All right, Mike, what do you got for us, man?
I got nothing tonight, man.
We got nothing.
I just enjoyed listening to everybody talk and what everybody's had to say. I got to find that book now, Jess.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Just come up with good books all the
eBay.
time.
That's the hard one. It's like if you go to Amazon, it's like $100. If you go to eBay, it's like 20. But I think I gave I've had 7 or 8 of these, and I keep giving them out. Like, here, just borrow. Here, read this, and then it just never comes back. So
Yeah.
I end up.
Sounds
They used to
about
sell them at the. They used to sell them right at the counter at the 7-Day store in 29 Palms.
Oh, smart.
That's this book.
That's funny.
It's like $4. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll pick a pair of
that was the
sunglasses.
cap. They sucked you in on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I get a pair of sunglasses, the Blues Brothers sunglasses, and a book.
Book and Slim Jims.
Ooh, and Slim Jims. Snap into a Slim Jim.
Have you had one lately?
Yeah, they're terrible.
The jalapeno ones are pretty good, but
There's no such thing as no.
What do you mean no?
It's Slim Jims are heinous.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Are they? I get.
It's like,
oh man, what are they called?
they're just greased up.
Yep.
And it's like
Yeah.
sawdust and like
Yeah.
pig's assholes, and they call it sausage.
Another
then-
thing that has gone downhill dramatically is KFC. KFC's garbage. It is not like it used to be. I shouldn't say that on here, should I?
I would.
Anyways, KFC, not what it used to be. Popeyes, pretty good. I ain't gonna lie to you. Popeyes pretty good. You know,
So
I like
we're about to
crispy
get that
chicken.
Raisin Canes. Is that any good?
Oh, that's good. Raising Cane's is good.
We got our first one coming in.
Yeah,
It's pretty good, man.
as
seriously.
far as like chicken and that, yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Popeyes I can't do after the PX. It was like at every PX, and it's just like too much.
That and Burger King.
Burger King, Subway. You gotta have Subway.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I love Scumway, man. I get the
Fuck no.
same sandwich I've gotten for years and years and years. Guess what
Meatball?
sandwich I get?
What's
Meatball.
that? The tuna salad.
Not meatball. What did you say, Mike?
Tuna.
Tuna. That's
Yeah.
right. I get the tuna. I gotta have lettuce, tomatoes, extra pickles, jalapenos. They don't call them
Anything to kill the taste. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
because you can still taste it. What are the banana peppers? That's what they call them there. Banana peppers and then salt and pepper. Don't heat it up. Oh, and American cheese. It's got to be American. Okay, Merca.
You would
Merca
heat up
cheese.
a tuna sandwich?
No, I said don't heat it up. You can't heat up a tuna sandwich.
That just sounds like
That's blasphemy.
I would like to get worms and die.
What, to heat up a tuna sandwich?
That's how you die.
If you don't heat it up.
Yeah, it becomes a tuna melt at that point.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't want it. You don't want to heat it up.
Nope.
I don't trust Subway enough not to kill me with a tuna melt. Okay.
I ain't died yet, man. I ain't died yet. I'm just saying. And I still get them.
Yet
They're
should not be
delicious.
the operative.
Andrew went
word
for
in
the
that
healthier version. Now he does it on flatbread, probably.
Oh, hell no, man. I do it on wheat.
Oh,
I do it on
okay.
wheat. Yeah. Not
That's not
because
fucking
it's
bread.
healthier. It's
That
because
ain't
I like
bread.
the taste of wheat bread better than I do the white
That
bread.
ain't bread. That's straight fucking plastic.
I don't care what it is. It tastes good. It's like eating McDonald's. I still eat McDonald's. McDonald's is great, man.
I have an Amazon envelope around here. That's wheat bread at Subway. It's just fucking gross.
Your standards are too high, my friend.
Yes, yours should be too. You're a grown up now.
No, man. I'll still eat McDonald's chicken nuggets.
That's not chicken.
I know, but I'll still eat them.
It's
I'll eat the
pink
heck out of
paste.
them.
Don't.
Hey, now don't be saying that. I go to a poultry plant that's one of their primary.
Is
customers.
McDonald's?
And they make
They make the chicken nuggets? For McDonald's?
Yeah, one of them.
No kidding.
Don't do that to
I've
yourself.
seen how they make it, and I'm not going to get into it here. So
We need to
pink
talk
paste. They
offline.
squeeze out of a bag. It's gross.
it's like bologna. Yeah, if you like bologna, that's all bologna is.
I like bologna. I ain't gonna lie
Well, I
to
like
you.
bologna too, but it's not. It's
There ain't
the way
nothing wrong with bologna.
it's
A
like hot
bologna
dogs.
sandwich.
All it is paste that's squeezed out, and then it gets.
That's okay. It's
Yeah.
good. It's
Man.
good. Fried bologna sandwich is good.
Yeah,
But I like
gotta learn-
spam.
I gotta
I'll
learn.
eat the hell out of some spam, man. That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, first off, spam is its own category. You know what I'm talking?
Hold on. Why is spam in its own category?
Because our neighbors to the east make it, and I lived in the
So
islands long enough.
You will tolerate spam.
Low sodium spam, and there's a
It
way.
has to be low sodium.
Musubis. Have you ever done musubis before?
I don't
With
think I've
white
done
rice
that.
and seaweed. Amazing.
I haven't done that.
That-
It's got to be spam. It can't be treat.
Yeah.
I've not had treat,
Yeah,
so I
fucking
can't
standard.
speak on
Treat
that.
is like eating freaking. That's like dog
Vienna,
food.
like Vienna sausages. Like, why would you do this? Those are horrible.
I'll eat some Vienna sausages too, though, man. I like Vienna sausages, dude. I'll eat the hell out of some poor man food. You know what? One of my favorite meals are. One of my favorite
Ramen
of all
noodles
time.
and sausages.
What's that?
Ramen noodles and Vienna sausages.
No, but that sounds pretty good right now. No, beans and taters, man. Beans and taters.
Beans and taters.
That's it. You get some beans and taters, I'll be happy. The only problem with that nowadays is my stomach. The next day, I got the farts and my stomach's all bloated. But man, I love it, man. This stuff tastes so good. Beans and taters.
All right. So we're all adults now. Let's just start talking about the awesomeness that is cubed low sodium spam in fried rice. And that's the
Dude,
way to go.
talking to
Throw some
adulthood
egg in
for
there.
me.
Good.
I haven't made it to adulthood yet. I can't
Get
do
yourself a walk. It's like $2. Make this shit and it's amazing. Fried rice. Fried rice.
it. I
Throw some
do
low
like some
sodium
fried
spam
rice. I
cubes
ain't
in
gonna
there.
lie to you.
Mm.
Fried rice
That-
is good.
Yakisoba. The first place who figures out how to yakisoba the right way in America is going to
Okay,
win.
what is yakisoba exactly?
God's gift to the drunk.
Hell, one of the best places I ever had yakisoba was in 29 Palms.
Was it
Oh
really?
yeah.
Out
Yeah.
at Four Corners out there.
Oh, Four Corners, yeah.
Because
Oh, man,
because
it's been a while since
all
I've
the
been.
Seven Springs is on rotation through it, and we all go to Camp Schwab, and 20 yards outside the front gate, it's called the Yak Shack.
Mhm.
There's a kid who went out and filmed this guy making it. Yakisoba at 2 a.m. with just a 6-pack of Kirin under your belt. 6-pack. That's being very generous to us.
What
on
kind of
another
six
level.
pack?
Yeah. And it comes in a little plastic container. It's yakisoba, and it's like the best drunk food you've ever had. That and taco rice, but that's on
Ooh.
another level.
Oh, taco rice.
Dude.
Hey, was Rocky
you
still
ever-
out there when you guys were out there?
What is it?
Pizza place? When you got out the
Where?
Four Corners, there was Rocky's, and then you turned right, and there was Bent Brothers, and over there was the yakisoba place.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I remember Benton Brothers was like, if I went that far, I was on my way to
Yeah.
Yucca Valley.
Then the
I'd
other
take the
place, I
tax
can't remember.
bypass.
You went to Four Corners, took a left, and you went down and hung another left. It was like an A-frame building, but it was a restaurant
Yeah.
where you could get breakfast at. I mean, we used to eat breakfast there all the time. I can't remember the damn name of it, but
I think the thing that got me about the best breakfast places were off the gut trucks. Hate to
was
say
the
it.
what?
The gut trucks.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. They had the wrap burritos. They knock them out and just like they came right to the ramp, like
Oh,
$2.50
yeah.
for a breakfast burrito, and like rip it all day.
Yeah, those are pretty good. I ain't gonna lie.
There's
But there's something about the food trucks. I don't know if it's just because I was a Marine and I like to be like that's where we got a lot of our food.
Yeah.
it's a thing now.
the good old roach coach.
Yeah, There is a place
Yeah.
here in town where there's like 6 different food trucks, and they all have a lot, and they sit on this lot and they sell their stuff from the food trucks. It's pretty
Okay,
cool.
I got an idea. American malls are all going the way of the dodo, right? Except ours
Yeah.
in town. Somehow ours is thriving. I don't understand how this works. But we lost like Sears, I think it was.
Yeah,
We
Sears
lost
is
one of the
gone.
anchor
Most
stores.
likely, yeah.
They have this giant space, and we have these things called winter here. And the gut truck, or like the food trucks, stop in the winter. They got this big garage doors. Roll those some bitches in. Put them
Yeah,
on
put
shore
them
power with an
inside.
HVAC. Put some like HVAC in there, so you got the
Yeah, you got
suction
ventilation.
pulling out the shit. And then put some like fucking bean bags out there and some Adirondack chairs.
Ooh, there you go.
This is a year-round opportunity, and you just like hook them in. And I'm like,
That's a
why
good
can't we
idea.
do that? But
That's a good idea.
American malls are all failing, and these things are all supposed to be transitory. And they shut them up for the winter. I'm like, turn that into a year-round thing.
That's a good point, man. Dude, why don't you
But
do that and make $1 million and then give us a loan, man?
'cause
Actually,
I
don't
hate
even give us the
this
loan. Just give us some extra money.
thing. All right,
Don't even worry about the loan. I
here's
don't
my
wanna pay
lottery
that.
idea, and it just started, and it's the crazy part. There's this lady in Kenya. She's taking like trash bags, and I'm not joking. Hear me out
Hold
on this.
on. Hold on. You can't say there's a lady in Kenya and think that we're gonna Are you sure there's a lady in Kenya?
This is a groundbreaking idea, and the first person who figures this out in America is going to win.
All right,
So
go.
there's so much trash and like plastic waste in America right now, right?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And concrete is just off the chain. So she figured out how to pulp down these like plastic bottles and bags and all that shit, mix it with sand, and then bake these bricks in, and then make them as pavers. So it's like 1/3 of the weight of concrete and like 4 times the strength.
But
And
what are
it's
they using them for?
semi-porous pavers, concrete replacements,
Like to build a building or something.
walkways, and all the other stuff.
Yeah,
Like
roads.
pavers.
Yeah,
I don't know
But I'm
about
saying
roads.
she's using them as
Highways.
pavers. She's making bricks because they're putting them down on roads, but it has
Roads.
semi-porous and it doesn't crack like bricks or concrete does.
No kidding.
That, and then you can also press these into concrete forms for like fence posts and all the other things we chew up with like wood and steel posts.
Interesting.
And they're strong. So
Yeah.
these are the things I'm like, that would be the $1 million idea in America.
Yeah.
But she got so tired of waiting for the government to fix the litter problem. She just went out and said, I'm going to do it myself. And she's like mechanical and chemical engineer and some shit. And I'm like, that is the idea.
You know what? We need people like that. People that'll go out and say, you know what? Here's a problem. Here's a solution. And then of course, I'm not the guy to do it. I ain't got the money to do it. So don't ask me. But the guy that has the money, right? That's the guy that needs to back that.
Because how many plastic bottles you see in the ditch? How many garbage bags?
Yeah,
Are these little plastic bags?
How many
everywhere?
plastic bottles do we go through in a freaking year? Just one person. Think how many? Yeah, in a day. How many plastic bottles would somebody go through? Like, let's say you're traveling, right? You're going to stop at a store. You're going to get a soda. You're going to get some water. You're going to get some different things. Everything's plastic, right? Yeah. Now you got the right idea. That's what I do the majority of the time.
Yep.
But I don't travel. But I don't know, man.
But I get 2 teas, and then I cut them with water and put it in here during the day too. So I got plastic bottles. I do like 2 bottles a day. But there's a guy with my mom's name, like her maiden name, just south of town, who's doing this right now. Yeah. I'm like, of course it is. We're probably fucking related too, but they're doing this plastic recycling shit. And I'm like, that's where it's at. And the first person that can figure this out and do it like across the country, put a bounty on plastic waste again, like we used to do on cans and bottles.
You used to be able to make some money turning that stuff in.
Yep.
Not so much anymore.
But how many concrete, how expensive is concrete these days?
Yeah, I don't know. It ain't cheap, I can tell you that.
But if you do prefab forms and do like pavers, why not?
I mean, you can build houses. You can build all kinds of stuff, man.
My cousin does that in Minneapolis. He's part of the University of Minnesota Sustainable Housing Department at University of Minnesota.
Interesting.
He also does like tongue and groove carpentry too, because that skipped right past me. So you want something broken, I'm your guy. You want something fixed, you talk to that side of the phone. There you go. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Sorry, my cat jumped on there.
We're still live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're still live. Sorry.
But there's your thoughts, your deep thoughts for the night, guys.
Here we go.
Deep thoughts.
As I get ready for my blizzard again tonight.
Deep. This episode is brought to you by Deep Thoughts with Jess.
There's your ideas. This is stuff that keeps me up at night too.
You want to stay up late? Just
I already do. I already do.
And his deep thoughts.
Yes, the engineering projects that will go nowhere.
You see this? This right here. What kind of cat do you think he is?
A tuxedo.
I would agree. He is a tuxedo and his
it's a mix.
Color. I think he's part Maine Coon. Look at his ears.
Yeah.
Look at his ears. You think he might be part Maine Coon?
You got big paws?
He does have big paws, yeah. Look at this. Look how big that paw is. Look at he's not cooperating.
Why would he?
Little turd.
They're cats. That's what they're made for. They're angsty teens. All right. I did go to a drill competition this weekend. I told you guys, those guys, if you get a chance, check out ROTC junior ROTC drill competition. That is
a drill competition. I was trying to figure out what you were saying. Drill competition.
They're spinning rifles and
they do all kinds of crazy stuff, man.
Teenagers, man.
Yeah.
I do believe if I was spun a rifle, I got the shit beat out of me when I was in.
Yeah, I would agree.
They smoked my ass.
Yeah.
That's why I ended up being a machine gunner, because I think they had that look about me. It's like, I'm going to spin this rifle. Like, well, have fun with that saw, bitch. With that 240. Spin that thing, big boy.
Good luck.
Why is he concussed? Because he's dumb and makes bad decisions. That's right. Stay safe, guys.
You too.
All right, guys. Thank you. To everybody out there, hold on. I'm going to do my outro. Hold on. To everybody out there, if you're struggling, you need help, anything like that, don't forget the VA does have some good resources. You can dial 988, press option 1. You can always text 838-255 or go to veteranscrisisline.net, click on that chat icon. In those options will put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life lost is one too many. I care about you. Mike cares about you. Jess cares about you. The whole veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, reach out to the buddies you serve with. Ask them how they're doing. If they need that helping hand, please give it to them. All right, fellas, thank you one last time. I truly appreciate it. Had a good time tonight. So thank you to everybody out there. Stay motivated. Change your socks.
Change your socks.
No more 22. On to the journey and finish the fight.